everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 21 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we are here with our players. We have Frank, Kyle, Mac, Josh, Abby, and Krista. Now, I think we're ready to jump into things, but I'm going to give us a quick recap of last session's ocean adventure, one could say. The party had made their way into a cave to keep up a deal with Dagwood to locate items that had that were either journals about Jormungandr or snakes, anything in that category, and everything else was for you guys. You could have it. She had no interest. You find these items in a cave, which you promptly get locked in, and informed by a magic mouth on a ruby that the tide will be coming in soon. You all look around, find some items. Some of them you think Dagwood would be interested in. And while looking around, Saga finds herself an aquarium made out of a chest boots. And Roshan finds a ladder leading downwards. You all head down. During this time, Tordrek had followed the mission from his goddesses and was gifted an axe, and this axe unimpeded by the water. He receives a kiss on the cheek and some words of encouragement, and he is sent to go assist his friends. As the team makes their way into this underwater cavern where they have to cast a water-breathing spell on themselves, Tordrek appears through a flume, and you all continue forward where Saga tries to introduce herself to another jellyfish-like creature, to which she is promptly grabbed and pulled into the gelatinous cube, or tube, as we were referring to it as, where it destroys a chunk of her homemade outfit. But you guys are able to defeat it, move forward. You find a skeleton with a strange snake-like marking on the bone of its thigh. You find another box on its person, and you find some gold. You guys decide to take the corpse with you and begin swimming forward. And as you go, you eventually make your way back up, and you can see you're kind of far from shore, and you all start swimming. Some of you having to lug weapons, as hoping the waves will just sort of drag you in. Tordrek with a skeleton on his back, hoping to give it a proper burial at some point. You all are pushed forward, just kind of tiredly swimming as you've been doing for hours. And eventually you wash up on shore near the docks of Arentoft. And you all just kind of crash onto there, arms like jello. And you can see that there are people on the dock. And it's pretty late, so it's a bit strange. And you can hear that these people are yelling, and they are holding hooded lanterns so that they can point them out into the ocean. And you can see that a few people are getting onto boats and are making their way out a bit, but they do not go further than the light can reach from people's lanterns. And you can hear that they are calling for a man named Uman. You can hear them yelling for Uman from where you guys are after you wash up. And that is where we are going to pick up.
Is that Uman with an H or Uman with a U?
With a U.
Okay.
They're like, not Uman with an H, Uman with a U, where are you?
Oh my god.
Oh man,
We didn't see anybody as we were swimming our way in, did we?
No, I feel like you could it was kind of hard to see until you got there. The night was falling. And it's like you kind of could see, there's some lights, and you wash up on shore. You can see that there's a couple handfuls of people, some men, a couple dwarves, all kind of, some looking under docks, some of them making their way out a bit, scanning the water. You see some throw out nets and start to like kind of scrape it along. But you do not see them coming up successful for the moments you are watching. What would you guys like to do?
Should we help?
Well, it's possible if he's close to shore. I mean, maybe we can provide a little assistance and maybe a little goodwill within the town might do us some good before we head out.
Maybe some of these things we're carrying might not be welcome in this town. Maybe someone should set off back towards the inn or to Dagwood to take those things, and the rest of us should help.
Yeah, I'll
That's
go home.
not a bad idea. Oh, you poor thing.
Saga's
Yes,
laying on the
alright.
ground, pencil rolling. Like
Saga, do you want to make your way back to the tavern with our collective gatherings, and we'll those of us with dark vision and healing capabilities will stay here and help search for this missing person.
Okay, so what is Saga taking with her? And to be a bit on the nose, what are you guys doing with that skeleton?
Well,
What are we doing with that skeleton, y'all?
talking about Boney? Yeah, Boney.
Yeah, the new party
Yeah.
companion.
Right.
Of course.
First to go was gonna walk up to Saga and say, Saga, and they move the running around and goes, mind if I go along with you if you're going back towards town?
Oh my god.
Making like a little puppet thing with it just for a second. He's kind of loopy from swimming so much. He's got them short legs, you know. He's really tired and delirious a bit. So he's
she was laying down on the ground, and I'm guessing it's like looking up to the skeleton face,
Oh,
and you get one of
no.
those like where you try to get up, but you like knock your head on the skeleton, knocks it on the skeleton's head, and it goes back down. Oh my god! And then it rolls back around. No, maybe if somebody else wants to come with me, they could take him. Sorry, sir.
He says no chance. Anyone else want to take my friend along?
Gorbjorn, you seem to be hiding your face again. Would you prefer to be back at the lodgings?
Yes.
I think that's fair. All right. Anyone who wants to go back on to the inn, please do go on ahead. We'll stay and help to search for this missing person. And we'll meet you
We
back
have some
there.
way to send a message to Bragi and let him know that we've returned.
Roshan, I believe you've a spell that can do such a thing?
I'm sorry. What thing?
Send a message remotely to somebody if you know where they are.
Oh, it doesn't work for very long range, but yeah, who would we send a message to?
To Bragi, just to let him know that we'll be a bit waylaid before we meet him back at Dagwood's.
Sure. And is Dagwood's within 120 feet?
Not currently.
Okay. Can I walk to about 100 feet away from there?
Peek around a corner. I could go say hello, but you know, I'm not doing that. Roshan, you can take off to start making your way to get within range of Dagwood's house.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Just
could
a
also-
rendezvous either with us or with the folks at the tavern when you're done, all right?
Okay, and Gorbjorn and Saga are heading back. Is there any trade-offs that need to be made? Because the thing is, all of you could eventually go back to the tavern and then go back to Dagwood the next day. It's up to you guys.
Project made that little hut type thing too, outside the town.
Yeah, Torjek's like, I got somewhere I could put my skeleton there.
Oh no.
I don't want to put a skeleton outside just to corrupt.
Yeah, that might be dangerous.
I imagine once we can regroup at the tavern, no? And then find our way back to Dagwood's at a later moment, or whether that's later this evening or in the morning. Everyone's
think
quite
so.
tired, but if we can save a life tonight, then
That's
let
a good
us do
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Do you want us to just deliver the stuff to Dagwood, or?
Not sure it's best to just hand over what she wanted without assurances on her part. We've helped her. I would like to see that she continues her work with Ave and provides us with the information that we want. No?
Well, she was Ave's good friend and family friend. Why would
We
she
don't
do
know
anything?
that. We know that she knew Ave. We don't know that they were good friends. We don't know that Ave purportedly trusted her, but it might just be that whatever he wanted done, she was the only one that could deliver upon it.
Ben, do you trust anybody in this world?
I trust Nana. I trust Gorbjorn. I trust all of you.
Okay. I was getting a little worried for you, but I'm not as much anymore.
Yeah, Fenn just kind of looks around and is like, yeah, I do trust everyone here, and not very many others.
Well, maybe, it's not usually that bad. Just someone else, like, Broggy has been very nice. Well, most of the time.
Broggy
There's
is
just
not...
that one.
Broggy may be very nice. Broggy is not one of us. He is different. He is a part. I don't know what more to say to make you see that. He is not the same as us.
I mean, he's been traveling with us the whole time. He's still pretty much one of us.
This is not a conversation to have now. Let us find this Uman and see if we can recover them.
Saga, it may be best for us all to be present when we visit with Dagwood next anyway. Just for convenience sake. We'll meet you at the tavern, alright?
Mm-hmm.
So what are we bringing over to the tavern? Just a skeleton?
Under your cloak. Nobody will know.
You're just gonna have to walk with his arms on your arms and his legs on his heels.
There's just jangling as he goes.
I mean, is he a collection? Is there still connective tissue there, or like can he just
No,
be
it is
his
just
bones?
it's barely stuck together, but it's mostly like calcified together. Because
So he can't be like stacked and put in somebody's backpack or anything like that.
You would probably have to break it to get it to fit into a
Conch!
And you could also depends on what you guys wanted to do with it, but you could also take it out to burn it in a bonfire. It's up to you.
Toldrick, it was your idea to bring this skeleton along. I don't know what information it can offer us. Do you want to bury it here on the beach? Do you want to take it elsewhere? I'm not sure the townsfolk would take kindly to seeing it.
Well, I built a small little hut on the beach right outside of town. Put it there.
We can put it to a... we can trust Toldrick, or we can put it to vote amongst the party.
Honestly, I personally trust Tordrick. I think that his judgment is good, but you think that your lodging on the beach would protect the skeleton from any corruption that might reach it, Tordrick?
Have I seen, did Tordrick see any type of corruption that anything weird on the beach during my quest that would make me believe that those ugly vines and those nightmare-like creatures are around here?
Go ahead and roll religion for me with advantage.
All right. My best shot was a 21.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay, so while you were swimming around, once again, you saw a huge old shark skeleton. No sign of real corruption on it. You also didn't see any sign of corruption on the skeleton when you received it. You would know that things were a bit intensified in the valley. So it is possible a skeleton could get corrupted there. It is much more difficult to corrupt just bones in the normal space that you guys live. Like if there's flesh, even just a little bit of flesh, that's enough for something to happen. But this thing is just bones.
Just Boney here's been gone too long. I don't know that the corruption would want any of this. Just a bag of bones, but everyone deserves proper burial, I think.
I think that's a sentiment worth respecting.
Okay.
Plus, he was down where we were, and that alone, pretty brave place to be alone.
All right, then. Do as you think you must. Whatever you think will be best.
Okay, so Tordrick is going to make his way along the beach. Gorbjorn and Saga are going to drag themselves back to the inn. Roshan is going to make a side stop near Dagwood's house and then go to the inn. And then Fenn and Nana, you are going to take a quick look around to see if you're able to help with the search for Uman.
Yeah.
All right. You all start making your way in your separate directions. Not a lot of people out tonight, but like once you get away from the docks, it's a pretty chill night. A lot of people seem to be staying inside. Not a lot of partying like the night prior. Maybe a bit more solemn. You two make your way back to the tavern, and it's mostly it just kind of looks like tired people. It does not look like much of a party there. And you guys are either welcome to stay down there or head up and just pass out. Whatever you guys want to do. Whatever you think's best.
I'll go up to the barkeep and say 3 rooms.
She sort of pops up from behind, kind of holding like a big bottle. Right, 1 second.
And that bottle!
She kind of gives you a point and a nod. Anything for the lady?
You just have some water.
No
Hold
bucket
the
of
salt.
milk?
Not today.
Why she wants more water at this point?
Maybe some like
water.
orange juice or something.
You are given a sympathy juice that she does not charge you for. She sees that you guys are partially soaking wet. It's freezing outside. And you're just kind of shaking and drinking your juice.
Yeah, maybe actually like some mulled wine or something really warm.
Mulled cider.
Yeah. Yeah, cider.
She gives you a nod. Let's say if you just give me a gold piece, you can have the whole bottle, some nice warm drinks, and 3 rooms.
So 4 gold in total?
No, just 1.
Done.
Consider it done. She's like, wait, shit. A gold is handed over. A large bottle of who knows what is put on the table.
Amazing.
Saga, your juice is heated up. You now have hot juice. You two get keys and are just kind of now in a warm space because there's a fireplace inside. Secrets. Meanwhile,
Sorry.
Tordrick, it's fine. Tordrick, you make your way down the beach. You eventually find your hut. What would you like to do with your new friend?
Well, Roger is skipping along the beach towards the spot, and he's kind of singing a few songs about the 9 sisters and how happy he is that he's found his friends. And he's singing, moving Mr. Boney, and da-da-da-da-da. He's like really very animated, and he gets to his little hut space. Then he's going to go into it, and in the dark little corner, is it evening or day? I'm sorry.
It's night, yeah.
It's not yet. He puts the skeleton over in the little corner, and he just kind of goes, "Now don't go anywhere. I'll be right back." And he's going to skimper back and try to meet everybody that's looking to help the person that may be drowning or missing or what have you.
Okay. So you break off for a minute. You plan on coming back to the docks.
Yes.
Roshan, you're making your way along. You are able to send your message to Bragi if you think you're in range. What would you like to say?
We're back, Bragi. meet you at the inn.
You get a reply. Understood. Thank you. I may stay here tonight, but we'll see you soon. Roshan's like, nice.
Josh wants to send a message back that says, get it, Bragi, but Roshan does not do that.
He mumbles it softly to himself and moves on.
He doesn't include it in the spell, just kind of like quietly mumbles it to himself, and
He
he's just
sends
like,
it to somebody else. He just does a spell in that direction to somebody else. And they're like,
Finds
they can just
himself.
hear screaming in the distance and somebody hears a voice in their head. Roshan, are you heading back to the inn or are you returning to the dock?
He will go back to the beach to see what's going on, see if he can help find someone.
Okay, so currently first at the docks we have Nana and Fenn. What would you two like to do?
I think that first thing would be to kind of touch base with whoever is currently part of the search, whoever seems to kind of be at least like directing the other searchers or coordinating things. Who seems to be kind of like heading up this search here?
Easy enough. I feel like he has a presence.
Most of these folks tend to do.
You see an older dwarven man, like thick, heavily braided, like graying hair. Just his beard sort of just a knot that he's tied around, and you can see him sort of kind of limping, a bit stiff in the legs as he kind of points at some of the small boats for people to get into. You'll see he picks up like a rope and like a net and he throws it in and he tells people, I'll go ahead and fucking skim that spot. You look under them docks, and just kind of shuffling his way through. You see that like he's like, and he specifies, don't go out farther than the light. And you see he kind of gives nods and like pats on people's backs as he makes his way around.
Nana would like to try to kind of catch him as he's passing by, sort of keep step with him so that she's not interrupting him, but kind of walk and talk, as it were. Pardon me, it seemed as though you were searching for someone who was perhaps lost offshore. We'd like to offer to assist if we can.
He does not turn and look at you. He does indeed like keep moving and going.
He's that type.
He looks around and you can see that he's noting that the boats are taken, the ones that are smaller and easier to handle, kind of like more of a rowboat, a small fishing boat situation. Shit, it's hard to look around at night. If you want to, I don't know how far you can see, but if you want to start looking under some of the docks, see if anything gets possibly caught on any of the rocks or the coral around the edge near the legs. Take a search there. If you have light, that'd be useful. We don't have a lot to go around, but start looking. Older guy, 40s, human. Tan skin, dark hair, kind of fat.
Does he have any especially distinct pieces of clothing or something that might stand out?
Last time they said he was wearing a green shirt. That's about it.
All right.
That's all we got going for us.
And his name was Uman?
Uman, yeah.
Okay. We'll do our best.
Okay.
Out of character, do we have any concept of how much we have left on the breathing, water breathing?
You get water breathing for 24 hours. You guys were probably gone and using it for certainly not that much.
Okay.
Yeah, nowhere near 24 hours. Under probably double digits, so like probably 8 hours.
All right, sir, is there any, to the dwarven man, is there any reason not to go where the lights don't reach?
Well, it's dark, and if something pulls you under, we won't be able to see.
Are things often pulled under in the dark?
Well, Uman was. Sometimes people go missing. Sometimes I think it's just men skipping town, but I think it's best keep their women calm. Take a look. I'd rather give them something.
Has Roshan made his way back to us yet? Anywhere close?
Roshan had a bit further to go. So he'll be back in a few minutes after you guys start searching. It'll be a couple more minutes.
All right, I'll
Okay.
start searching under the docks and such. No, I'm not carrying a light. I don't need one, but
Yeah.
His eyes just widen. I guess.
well, I'm kind of deliberately. If there's something that is scared away by the light and it's around here, I'd like to be able to see it.
Okay.
Especially since it probably won't be able to see me. So, kind of deliberately, I'm staying out of the light while looking close to shore at the moment.
Okay, both of you can roll perception for me, non-disadvantage.
Got it. Oh.
16.
My better one might have been decent. Not my lesser one, though. My lesser one is a total of 7.
Nana, by golly, the best you can do is it's night. You have to follow where the lights are going. And they skim nothing that you see. You see an occasional fish swim out of the way of the light once it hits it. Nothing of importance. Fenn, you make your way around, looking in places where people can't exactly get their lights. Currently, you do not see anything out of the ordinary, anything tangled up in the rocks or anything that would lead you to think, to point you in a direction. And by this time, after you guys start your search, Roshan and Tordrek show up.
Is the tide back in at this point?
Yeah, the tide's
Is it violently rushing in, or are there big waves, or is it just kind of?
It's pretty still. It's not incredibly big waves.
Okay.
It's not too bad. Tordrek and Roshan, what do you guys want to do? You can see Nana standing more with a group of people who are like pointing lights, and you can see Fenn kind of like flopping down onto his stomach and like kind of pulling himself a bit under a dock and like looking around in the shadowed spots.
Roshan will gather a handful of pebbles and then wade into the water, and he will, like, one by one cast light on a pebble and then throw it out into the distance and then go underwater to see if he can see anything over there, and then surface and throw a pebble and search that way.
Okay. Let me get Roshan real quick. Roshan, go ahead and roll perception. I'm going to give you advantage for your fancy light trick. And yes, Nana?
I just wanted to say, as Nana sees Roshan and then also Tordrek show up on the beach, she'll catch them up on the situation. She'll give them the description of our missing man and note the green shirt as being the last known, especially notable article of clothing.
Okay. You give the team information. Roshan nods and you watch him just make his way into the water. You can see people watch him and like they murmur as he does this magic. None of it seems to be like negative in this murmurings, but people do notice it.
And it was a 15.
Okay. You look around. You see tangles of nets and like broken fishing line and things that had fallen into the water over time, but nothing that is once again pointing you in the direction of this man. Tordrek, what would you like to do?
Tordrek is going to see where the tide's coming in and where the water, like when it splashes, where it comes in and rolls in. And he's going to go and he's going to lay down and wait for the water to come in the next time and splash and roll over his body. And when it does, he's going to pray to the sisters and see if one of them can give him direction.
Okay.
See if there's actually anyone in need here.
Roll religion.
Six.
No.
You try to focus, and the water ends up kind of like, it gets in your nose, and you realize how cold you are, even with your thick skin. But you do not hear murmurings from the sisters, but you do feel the warmth of the axe on your back. And you know that they are there, but it seems cannot guide you. All of you look for an extended period of time, slowly getting colder and colder, having been completely soaked to the bone for hours. But eventually you start to see people from this group start to break off and make their way home. You hear people saying, oh yeah, once day rolls back around, I'll try and do something else. And you hear people murmuring and talking about what they're going to do next time. You see that the older dwarven man sort of kind of says good job to people and kind of tries to pick the mood up a bit for some people who look a bit downtrodden. And he eventually kind of, he motions over to people. All right, let's head in. We're not going to find him now. We couldn't find him a second ago. And he starts to kind of sort of waddle, limp his way back more inland.
Following after him, Nana would like to just ask, I am sorry about your missing man. Who is he for your community? Who knows him well?
Oh, he's just a shitty fisherman. Okay enough guy. Mainly we're looking harder because he has a missus. Want to keep her happy. And you know, if we can find something, great. If not, we can at least tell her we tried.
Certainly.
I hear tell that fishing is dangerous. I'm no fisherman myself, but I hear it's a dangerous business. How often does this happen? How frequently do you lose a member of your community? Without explanation.
I mean, the explanation is the mistress here, and he kind of points out to the water and he motions with his hand. Sometimes, like a woman, temperamental, take you down, beat the shit out of you, but she'll spit you back up. Sometimes she doesn't. In the past month, we've actually lost, we've lost like 3 fishermen. Different times, but nobody's really seen anything.
Is that significantly more losses than you usually have in that much time?
Well, usually if in a month we're losing 3 people, it's because, you know, a whole boat goes down or something, but these were separate instances. You hear a guy comes by and you hear him mumble, "It's that fucking witch," as he goes by. And you watch the dwarven man kind of hit him on the back. "Go home, you're tired."
Fenn grabs that guy's collar. What did you say about a witch?
One moment. I'd like you to roll intimidation.
Okay. Wasn't trying to be necessarily intimidating, but I will do that.
You grab
That
him
is
by the collar.
how you came across.
Do you do that in normal life and think it's not intimidating?
Is that how you speak to Saga?
I just didn't want to. He was walking by. It was a passing comment. But all right, 13 on intimidation.
Here, 1 second. Okay, you see the first thing he does is he clenches his fist and, like, stops himself from swinging. Like, his first instinct was to swing, but he, like, sees that he's around a bunch of people and he's tired and he's just like, this isn't the time. I'm not going to start swinging even though this guy just grabbed me. He looks at you and he kind of like...
I didn't want to touch you either. Just, what did you say about a witch?
Fucking witch in town.
There's a witch in town. Which witch?
Oh, you're asking me which witch?
Which witch? Yes, which witch?
Kind kind of points back inland. That fucking broken down haunted house shit.
Ah.
Witch.
All right, and what evidence do you have that she's causing disappearances?
She stands on the balcony at night, and people said they've seen things. Like she's casting spells or conjuring, and then people go missing.
It doesn't seem like any of you can see very far. How do you know that it's her? How many witches do you know?
I guess I don't fucking know, or just one. People can see her when she's at home. They've only ever seen her come out at night on her fucking porch to curse us.
To curse you? Does she curse you in language that you know?
I'm sorry, do I know you?
No, you don't know me, and I don't know you. But
Perfect. He starts
I'm
walking.
looking for a witch. I'm looking for a very particular witch.
I've pointed you in a direction of which witch I know of. And he is going to go. And the dwarven man, don't worry about that. The men are just spooked sometimes.
I'm not concerned at all. Do you see many witches in this area, or is there just the one?
I'm not going to go out on the limb and say there's one.
I'm looking for a witch that covers half of her face. Have you seen anything like that?
He thinks a moment. He looks a bit caught off guard. No, I can't say I have. Not that witch in particular.
Thank you for your help, friend. I hope you find your missing man. And if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. I'll be staying at the Undertow, I presume. Ask for Fenn. Ask for the elf. I'll be the only elf there, aside from one other named Elvis. But you don't want him. You want Fenn.
Right. Well, thank you all for your help. And honestly, if you're still interested in helping, I expect maybe the missus might put up a bit of a poster with maybe a bit of coin. So if that's incentive, not sure if you need it or not, but there may be some later.
Oh, my friend has lots of coins. We saw she had a whole bag of them. But
thank you very much.
But thank you. I'd like to see your man return to you.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Head on back to the Undertow. Good spot. One of my favorites. And he smiles like a big smile, and he starts making
another fan of the buxom, I see.
Tordrick, he kind of limps by you and he kind of gives you a nod. Brother?
How goes it? I mean, besides the obvious.
Besides the obvious, honestly, pretty shitty, but still walking.
So you headed to get some refreshment. I'm thirsty myself.
I think I could fancy me a drink, yeah. Would you like to go to the Undertow?
Mm-hmm.
Right then.
We'll be heading that direction.
I'll sing a song. And he starts singing an old Dwarven song. One of the old ones that he sings in Dwarven still.
That's so good.
Let's see.
Nana does know Dwarvish. I will say that.
Yeah, you can understand the song, but you've never heard it before. You can understand parts. Some of it's probably, you're like, I don't know what that word is. It could be slang for something. But you're like, and you see that the old Dwarvish guy, he smiles while you sing, and he doesn't seem to know the song very well, but occasionally he'll try to chime in one of the words to join in. But he does his best.
And Tordrick goes, he turns around to everyone from the party that's there that kind of just watched them start to walk away. He goes, how rude. Come on, everyone. Let's have a drink. When was the last time we could say that and be safe?
Goodness knows. Let's do.
I'm going to kind of hang back and try and get Roshan as we're walking back I'm trying to get Roshan to kind of hang back with me so I can talk to him separate from anybody else.
He'll be amenable to talking.
Roshan, that you come from the coast, a coast where it's always night. Are there things in the darkness that scare people off of the water? Are there things there that people fear? These people don't seem to want to get far from their lights.
Well, I was only 5 or 4. I was really young when I left the coast, and I mean, everyone told stories about how something in the water will get you because I was a child and probably shouldn't be swimming in the ocean.
And you have no contact since then with anyone from that area? There's no... What legends do you know of that? These people seem deathly afraid to be on the water at night. And they're seasoned fisher folk. They know the water, they know the waves, and they don't want to go into the darkness. They have lighthouses, they have lights set, but they won't venture away from them.
I don't know, superstition?
They must know where their own reefs and hazards are. Think on it for a moment, and if you can, let me know.
Sure.
If there's a beast that plagues this community, maybe it's something that we can do to do some good in the world, to rid them of it.
Yes. Hopefully we can.
All right, and you two catch back up to the group, which Tordrick, with his singing, has caught the attention of some other dwarves who can feel that there are drinks to be had. And
you've started a conga line, buddy.
As this conga line of dwarves makes their way into the undertow.
Amazing.
You can see it's pretty low key, which consists of Saga shivering by the fire, a bit warmer now, drinking hot juice. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, Saga?
Sorry.
Oh, there you are.
She's actually up in her room doing some stuff. But...
The idea of Saga just
Sorry.
the feel that you all
lingers in the undertow.
Some of her energy is still there.
Yeah, Gorbjorn, would you head upstairs as well after a little bit?
So I would have immediately gone to the room and I would have wanted to open that chest with nobody around.
Okay. So Saga, you head upstairs. Gorbjorn, you head upstairs as well, and you now have a huge bottle of alcohol. And you open the box that you all had taken from the skeleton, and inside of it is a golden, like extendable spyglass. That the mouth part is shaped like a snake, like where the larger side is, and it kind of has scales carved into it. Very ornate.
I immediately just take this, and it's a spyglass, you said, right?
Yeah.
So I would be like goofing around with it, going like, oh.
Roll perception for me.
I believe that would be a 21, yes.
Wow.
Nice.
Rolled well.
Boy.
As you're kind of fiddling around with it, you kind of get just a glance, like, aha, the window. And it's just, the sea is beautiful. It's not like it illuminates to the point where you can see like deep into it, but you can just feel the energy of the ocean, and it burns brightly compared to the darkness. And it just almost seems to like come to life, and you can see just threads moving through it, like shining almost like worms that make their way through the ocean in spots, like rivets of energy.
What?
Okay, after seeing how crazy this is, I would definitely need to replace something in the box, so I'd want to go towards that library or the bookstore that Saga went to that had like all the weird taxidermy things. and I would try to like buy something that would fit inside of it.
So you see
Like
that
a bird?
this old woman was like starting to close up, and she's like, "Oh," and she kind of squints at you in the darkness. You want one of the animals?
Is there any like snake creature out of them?
Ooh, snakes, rare. And she kind of moves forward to the back, and you just see just a lot of fish taxidermy. I don't have a snake, but I have an eel. Would that work? Perfect. Done. She goes and she, so we have a couple eels, and she shows you like a big eel, and then there are a few smaller ones, and one of them you think maybe if you like clip off just the edge of the tail could probably fit in.
Perfect.
Oh God.
Yeah, could, how about, golly, eels are hard to come by. How about 3 silver?
2 silver.
Persuasion. Or intimidation. You can
Oh,
pick.
okay. Well, that's a natural 5, so an 8 total.
You watch this old lady bow up. I think 3 silver.
I'll place the 3 silver and just take it, mad stomping out, just like.
That's another one. And she puts the coins away. Have a good night with your eel. And she closes up shop, and you make your way back. Let's see some stuff first off. Let's see your luck. Gorbjorn, roll me a luck check. Just flat luck.
17.
Okay. You are not seen by the oncoming conga line of dwarves and your friends, and are able to kind of slip back inside and go back upstairs unseen by them, just from timing's sake. But you go upstairs and you put the eel in the box instead.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you're like, nailed it.
Oh my God.
You do that. The rest of you end up arriving at the tavern, which it doesn't turn into a full bash, but it does turn into people who needed at least a little comfort from some drink and some just getting to talk to some people. Works out pretty nice. Tordrick, when you enter the Undertow, it's the smell of cooking food and alcohol and the warmth of the fire, and standing behind the bar, a dwarven woman with very tan skin and dark curly hair, which she has braided up and has beads in it, and a ornately kind of curly but braided beard, with a large chest, which she has just kind of squeezed in and pressed upright, basically under her chin. Hello there, boys. Drinks all round?
He kind of gets himself all presentable, like from a distance. So, who's that? He says to the dwarven man he met just a bit ago out at the docks.
You can see that he's he also looks smitten for a second. Oh yeah, that's Jeannie.
Genie. I dream of Genie.
He laughs and he gives you like a pat on the back.
My first round, please. Hoping he got a
Everyone,
coin first.
yeah, everyone cheers and is excited. Tordrick, if you put up like 2 silver, you could pay for the drinks of the people that came with you if you wanted to, or if you just want to pay for yourself, it'll be less. What would you like to do?
Yeah, he does that.
Okay.
Let's 2 down.
You put down 2 silver. Jeannie goes around and fills everybody's cups. It's a lot of dwarves having a good time. Is there anything you guys wanted to do in particular before you head upstairs?
Ben's gonna spend most of his time by the fire, drying out his clothes. He's gonna get a couple of drinks in him, and then when he's thoroughly dry, he's gonna stumble back outside and go sit on the edge of the dock and just kind of stare out into the darkness and see if he can see anything out there that's, he wants to find this Uman. This is a hunter from a different environment, but this is a comrade, this is a colleague. He may take his meditation out there, but he's gonna stand vigil tonight down on the wharf.
Okay. I will inform you it is very cold. You'll need to do at least something about that, or it'll be difficult to meditate.
Okay. Is there
You could probably take some of the extra cloaks from our stuff, like
winter
just
coats.
between.
Yeah, I
Like,
imagine
tag on the
maybe he just
sled and-
on his way out grabbed a cloak off the off the rack and and just an extra one.
Sure.
But
Yeah, you head out. You can go ahead and roll me perception. Anybody else doing anything tonight?
As long as Saga's not around, Roshan would like to take the scraps of fabric that he may have taken from a corpse, maybe not, and scour all of the ocean muck from them with the prestidigitation cantrip, and hopefully get some usable fabric.
Okay. You kind of sit at a table and you pull out this piece of fabric and you're like, nobody has to know this came from a corpse. You clean it up a bit. You said prestidigitation?
Yeah.
Okay. You clean it up and there's probably just like a nice square of probably usable. It extends a bit bigger, but eaten away by time. But you definitely clean it up. It just has some holes in it.
Sweet. A nice patch.
It's a purplish fabric that has kind of gold trim through it.
It was a 21 on the perception.
Okay. Anybody else?
So hearing the commotion downstairs, I would have been drinking heavily in my room after the eel and feeling very confident about the slip. I would have been letting my clothes to dry, and being drunk, I would have forgotten about my helmet. So I'd just come down, give Nana the key, and then walk back upstairs nonchalantly.
Let's roll some rolls.
I mean, Nana would be familiar with him, maybe a little surprised that he's coming down, face.
You can see
there.
I'm drunk. I'm like...
Yeah. That tracks a bit. Nana will be like extra friendly with him as he's, passing the key over, just to like assure anybody who's looking on that, he's a friend.
You certainly see people take notice. And it is not the as nice of murmurs as it was for Roshan doing some magic.
Yeah.
For people who are nearby and could see him better, who aren't back in the crowd, but you do catch some side eyes in his direction. Nobody does anything, but he is definitely clocked. And you just merrily go back upstairs after handing off the key. You're like, here you go, friends. I'm having a good time. I'm feeling confident.
Oh boy.
Anybody else?
Tordrick is going to ask the dwarves that are there in a roundabout way about the mountain range that he came from, because even though he denounced his heritage after what happened when he was younger, there's things since he's gotten used to people again that makes him kind of just wonder how his family's doing and stuff, and just wondering if anybody is from that mountain or mountain range or have been to that mountain range. So he's kind of dropping little hints to see if anybody bites.
Little hints. As you're talking with the guys, what you really get from them, the older guy, oh yeah, I have to say these boys, good old Arentoff boys, we're all from around here. But I have heard of that mountain range. It's like on the other side, right? Pretty far off.
Yep.
Gosh, I knew a buddy a couple towns over who I know does or did trading with the area, did something like that.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know too much, sadly.
Oh well, I was just wondering. I've been walking a long time. Well, it's good knowing you, and I look to have more drinks with you. Before this is all done.
Yeah, they give a cheer. You get like a clasp on the back, and it's there's something kind of nice about just kind of being with just a bunch of dwarves having a good time. Eventually, some of them start to peel off either because they're like, I gotta get home to the missus, or there's some home, and will drunkenly make his way out. So eventually, the group slowly starts to disperse. Saga, what would you like to do?
Okay. Well, I came up to my room pretty early after carrying my juice. And what are the rooms like? They have like a bed, table, like chair kind of?
Yeah, I'd say there's in each room it's 2 beds. Sort of something akin to a nightstand with like a little light on it, and then the bare minimum desk with bare minimum stool.
Okay. Well, go on upstairs. A little bit, walking a little bit punchy, because a little sore after everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
As I get up to the room, I'll put my juice down, and I'm gonna take off a few of those layers that are like really badly damaged and kind of hang them up and sit for a second and assess. Try to figure out what I'm gonna do with that, then get a little bit frustrated, so leave that project aside. And then I'm gonna go into my bag and kind of dig through a little bit and start pulling some things out. And I'll go over to the desk and put down a kind of a rolled up piece of parchment and a little book, and then it's like a quill and ink that I keep. And sit down on the stool, and then realize the stool is much too uncomfortable. So then I'll just go run over to the bed and hop on there and bring everything over there, and crisscross applesauce on the bed. And so looking over these things, I'll unroll the parchment, which is it's a really worn, stained, half torn up map. That kind of has some really roughly drawn lines and zigzags that kind of curl all over this map. It looks like they cross over each other and back around and around and around. And take out the pen and start draw out the path that we took out into the valley and then out around, and then make a little note of where the Loxodon are, a little like drawing of a little elephant face, and mark where we saw them, and then mark the place that we saw, like we met Bragi, and I'll make a little mark of that, and then make a mark about the terrible the vine monster that we saw over there, and definitely avoid that for later. And then look it over and nod a little bit and roll that back up, put that back in my bag, and then I'll take out the book, which kind of flipping past the pages of text that are scrawled in the language that I don't really know, not sure where that came from, but go back to the back where I've been making all the entries, since, avoid the stuff that I don't know about, and make some entries from all the things that have happened so far, because I haven't had time. I've just been so busy with everyone and so excited, I haven't had time to write about any of it, and yeah, I'm just gonna write about all the wonderful things that have happened with my new friends. It's pretty much spend most of the evening writing. And then I kind of make sure and pull out that there's a bit of jewelry in my hair that's kind of stuck in there. And it's this kind of curling vine with 3 little buds on it. That's covered in resin that kind of sits in my hair, and play around with that a little bit and hold on to that since I've had it since the beginning. And then close the book and probably fall asleep.
After updating your map and fiddling with your journal and kind of taking a moment to take stock of things that are yours and things that you know are nice, you eventually, worn from the day, eventually end up kind of curling up on the bed.
Yeah.
Probably pen and ink still somewhere kind of on the bed, and you just end up curling up on yourself and fall asleep. I will say...
Mumble a few words to Lady Sitter as I fall asleep because I forgot to pray today. I was sorry.
Fenn, you spend your night on the dock, and it is just the constant sound of wind and waves, but nothing of note that you see. And eventually, if you would like to, you can meditate.
Yeah, once Fenn gets tired and starts realizing that there's nothing to see there, he's gonna pick up the blanket that he's set on the dock, or the cloak that he's sitting on, also crisscross applesauce, and he's gonna wander back to the undertow and find his way back to his room. He takes him a second because actually the last time he found the room with Gorbjorn, he did not have any recollection of that. So it's gonna take him a minute. He's in much better he's in a much better cognitive place tonight, but in a little bit more emotional place, because he really wants to find this missing person. But he's gonna find his way back to the undertow and up to his room and meditate in there.
Okay. You go in, and probably by this point, a very drunk, very tired Gorbjorn is probably passed out on his bed.
Is he swinging at anything? Is he?
He is not fighting anything currently.
Okay.
You do see a giant bottle kind of like sitting on the floor.
All right, I'm gonna do the same thing that Elvis did, and I'm gonna cover him up with. But I'm not gonna cover his face. I'm not gonna cover his face up. But I'm gonna cover him up and not tuck him in, but put a blanket over him.
Okay. You're like, this seems right, and you cover him up. We are going to play a bit of How Drunk Am I with Gorbjorn. Here's the thing. We are going to do Gorbjorn's Constitution saving throw versus Fenn's perception.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a 19. Not a natural 20.
So 26 total, if you need to know.
Okay. As you cover him up, you don't see anything of note that you think is weird, because Gorbjorn, the last part of your brain that is like, okay, we gotta finish the whole con, pushes the looking glass under your pillow instead of just kind of like having it like, I've succeeded.
I thought I would just like stupidly just put it in the stack of all my other golden things.
Yeah. You put it into your treasury. You're like, here we go. You remember, right as you're about to fall asleep, you're like, and it goes with the rest of the gold, and end up passing out. Cool. Anything else really of note, or off to sleep for the team, whether they are drunk or just tired, or sometimes you gotta sleep.
Or go out to sleep. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah. I was just gonna say Nana will take some time before going to sleep to pray to Golvig and take some time to try and look back over Ave's will and reorient towards what needs to happen next.
Roll religion for me.
Okay. Ooh. It really doesn't matter what my modifier is for that. It's a 4.
Nothing. You kind of focus back in. You're like, okay, I spent a night, living it up. I'm back in town now. Time to refocus. I'm not sure if anybody else had anything, but I have a question for Roshan, unless you have something you'd like to do first, Roshan.
Roshan would take like 2 shots and then confidently head to bed without any tea.
All right. Such confidence.
I didn't need it last night.
I'm pulling for you, buddy.
Confident. Make your way up to the room. Lay down. You're like, all right, good. Get nice and comfortable. The bed gets warm. You cuddle up. And then the adrenaline of the day starts to fade. You close your eyes. And you begin to fidget. Your back starts to hurt a little bit. Your body is sore. And you were hoping that maybe that would also lean into you passing out. You are incredibly uncomfortable.
I think relatively late, he would head back down to the bar and get a nice glass of warm something to put some herbs in, and then go back up to his room.
Almost instantaneously, and you know that it takes a handful of minutes for it to kick in, but the second you take a sip, you know that you're okay. You instantly feel like, oh, I'm better.
That's good.
And you don't know if, it's up to you how you feel about that, but you are slightly aware of the situation. And it's up to you how you would like to feel about that, but you know it works.
I think at that point, he's just like, all right, now it's time for bed.
I just want to sleep now. Problems are for later, Roshan.
Yes.
Sleeping's for this, Roshan. You finish your warm drink, and by the time you finish, your body relaxes and the stresses of the day seem to leave you. And you are able to drift off to sleep, which all of you are eventually able to do. Saga, while you're working, you realize Bragi doesn't come back, but you know that he was at Dagwood's place, so maybe they're still talking. You don't know. But you eventually fall asleep. Everybody, one by one, eventually, whether they had to wake up because they couldn't sleep, or they were worn out, or they were drinking with friends, or they were at the dock, and then they make their way back up to their room. Everyone eventually goes to sleep, gets a long rest, and you all wake up the next morning. And Roshan, you can already feel how stiff your neck is and how uncomfortable you are. And that is where we'll stop for our break.
Oh, how comfy.
Good stuff, 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. Talking of 10.
Oh, speaking of 10, we're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll get right back to our story then. Thank you guys for being here. See you in 10 minutes. Hey everybody, welcome back from our break of On the Backs of Gods. We just took our mid-session break. We're getting back into things. The party had washed up on shore. There was a missing man named Uman, who the party, half of them helped to look for him to see what they could do to help. Some people went back to the tavern. Eventually it coalesced and the team heading back. Drinks were had. Some people spent the night by themselves. Some people a bit courageously made the biggest heist of the century just in their room. But eventually everyone goes to the undertow to sleep. And Roshan, you wake up very stiff and tired, and just moving just seems like so much work. And it's like a weight kind of just like at the nape of your neck that like holds you against the bed as you sit there uncomfortably once you wake up. All of you from the amount of exhaustion you had, it's not like you took levels, but you guys literally were doing intense activity for hours. So I'm going to bump up that long rest a bit that you guys made it not early morning is when you got up, but you guys took a few more hours to yourselves to recompose. But eventually all wake up. Fenn, that night, trying to do something good for the people. Maybe you could help out. No sign of Uman. You go to sleep. You meditate, and it's just corridors. It is walking down corridor after corridor, and sometimes you swear she's just right ahead of you, but you cannot see her face. Not once. She's always just a little bit ahead, and the thing is, you know that she is gone. You're very aware, but she's there, and she's walking ahead of you, and the meditation you're in makes it seem incredibly real, even though you know the truth. And it is just a night of following her down corridors. And right before you wake up, she disappears from view, and you are alone. And that is when you come out of your meditation. What would people like to do besides, get up, have some coffee, have a nice cup of tea, eat some food, fix their hangovers because they drank a whole giant bottle of alcohol by themselves?
Well, I would have left some for the morning. Hair of the dog kind of thing.
You're like,
Oh
you
my
just
God.
groggily reaching over and just.
I leave good present for future Gorb.
Thanks, past Gorbjorn. No problem, future Gorbjorn.
I imagine like one of those.
That's exactly
like,
how
inspirational things where it's just like in the background. There's like a bigger one of his.
Just you're on a beach and you're just drinking alcohol, and there's a Gorbjorn behind you with a thumbs up.
There's an alligator there for some reason.
Yeah, there's just an alligator, and you just got a foot there, and you're like, ah. Thanks, me.
It's canon.
Gorbjorn's like, yeah, I got this painted.
Oh, there's a cat there, actually.
Yeah. Big
Huge
orange cat shows up.
Don't trust it.
Roshan, what would you like to do when you wake up? Just curious.
I think he would, for the first time, just reach into his satchel and take a bit of the onset powder and just put it under his tongue.
All right. Efficiency. Yet you realize as you push through and how incredibly everybody's here today. Hi. How incredibly bitter the taste is, but you push through and you know that this will make it work faster, and you don't have to go through the whole rigmarole of making a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, for ease, not so just people can't see me.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, come on. And you feel right as rain in just a couple minutes.
Great.
I'm going to assume everybody eventually coalesces downstairs in whatever state they're in. Gorbjorn's eyes are kind of bloodshot. You're feeling a little better because you followed it up with something to drink, but your body's still just like, I think I'm broken. Your body's trying to heal itself, and it's like, yeah, that helps. We like that. Is there
Stuff in my face with food, yeah.
Yeah, just eating. Is there anything you guys would like to do today? You guys are kind of together around probably more like noon is when the team is able to fully get together.
Saga
I would like
pulls the
to-
quilt all the way downstairs.
I would like to procure a couple cookies or biscuits, any kind of baked good.
Yeah, you're able to get probably like a copper a biscuit if you wanted to get everybody a nice biscuit.
Sure, I'll get everyone a biscuit, but then one of them I will wrap in the new purple and gold fabric, and present that fabric to Saga in the morning.
Yeah, she was looking real tired and sad because her dress is all ruined, so she can't walk around like that. And then you hand her the biscuit. Well, is this for is this for dresses?
Yeah, I saw how yours was kind of beat up from that last encounter, and I thought you might like this.
This is the best. Oh, gives you a hug.
If she wasn't gonna do it, he was gonna be like, all right. But yeah, he'll pat you on the back.
Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I need to get started. This is wonderful. This is so pretty. I can't believe you found something like this around here. I wonder, did you, like, the lady at the store, like, she didn't really show me anything like this when I went there. I don't know where you...
Roshan just plays it off real cool. Oh yeah, just found it and cleaned it up for you, and I knew you'd like it. It's really pretty.
I actually really like the whole decorations. It kind of adds a little bit of breathingness, you know?
Oh, yeah. I thought maybe it would just be you'd cut off the bad parts, but
Oh no, you don't. That's the life. You got to keep the life in the fabric.
yes,
The life.
the life in the fabric.
Yes, this came from a living place, and a living person gave it to me.
It's the fabric.
Just puts a biscuit in his mouth. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, skip away eating the biscuit that's wrapped in dead body fabrics. Oh, la la la. Roshan's such a lovely person.
Scoured of all of its organic.
It was clean.
Contaminants?
You know.
Yeah.
She'll never know.
Yep.
Fenn grabs a couple rashers of bacon and cornbread and whatever they have for breakfast, and he kind of gives a look to Nana, and then he's gonna make his way back down to the docks. He's gonna go look and see if there's any evidence of this missing person. He's gonna eat while he's on his way, and he's gonna take a look and see if there's any indication of, is the search party still out there? Has anybody regathered to go find this person? And he's gonna look when he's out there, and I think Nana would know where he's going, but that's where Fenn's going.
Well, I mean, essentially, it was just going to be Nana checking in with Fenn, like just grabbing his elbow as he goes, checking in.
What?
I only grabbed the cloak. The cloak.
All right,
Sorry about that.
All right, yes. What?
Only wanted. You didn't see anything last night, then?
Nothing. I just this community was so ready to write him off. He went out to find food for them. That's what he was. He was a hunter. He was a fisher folk is a hunter. It's just a different. It's not the woods, but it's a different type of woods, and he's gone, and they don't care. We'll see if there's anyone looking for him now. But why are they so cowardice? Why do not they look out past their own lights? I'm gonna go see if anyone's looking for him now. Gather me when you're ready to see him. When you're ready to see her. When you're ready to go back to Dagwood, gather me. I'll be at the wharf, but I'm gonna go look. Someone has to look.
Take care.
I'll not be far.
Right, Fenn makes his way out. When you get there, go ahead and roll perception from me. From what you see when you arrive, there are people about on the dock and in boats, but they're working. The sun has risen, they're on the clock. They are currently fishing and moving supplies and transporting up and down the steps. That's mostly what's going on there. And when
That's 21 to perception.
You take a look around. I think that's our third 21 today.
Yeah, right.
21.
I think they might all be mine for
Welcome
the same
to
check.
episode 21, where we all roll 21 a bunch.
I rolled
Man, that would
16
be
on the
nice.
die 3 times.
Can't wait for
and-
episode 89 or whatever.
Yeah.
89.
You take a look about. Once again, nothing really of interest. It's just now the kind of fishy smell in the air is definitely intensified, and you can also see that there are people carrying around like fish in baskets and like dragging them onto docks and working.
Do I see the person, the man whose collar I grabbed and was asking about the witch? Do I see him anywhere?
Cheating on me?
You already found a new man? You see that he's currently like pulling something, like it looks kind of like a crab catcher or crab cage onto a small boat and is climbing into it with a couple other guys currently.
I'm gonna approach him, and this time with a little bit of tact and elegance. I'm kind of from a respectful distance, give a bow, and I'm sorry for my rudeness yesterday. This man that's missing, has anyone? Did you find him last night? Did anyone find him? How? Is anyone still looking?
I mean, we're keeping eyes out. Basically, at this point, he's been gone so long. If he did not run off, which is always an option, either something's got him and we're not going to see him again, or he's going to wash up on shore. But
And what do you think has got him? Is there something here that you fear? Is there something that normally takes people?
there's monsters all over the place. Just because we're not in the woods doesn't mean they're not in the waters. There are large things that move in the coral. There are some things that look like coral but are just teeth. There are monsters everywhere, and then it just comes down to maybe an octopus grabs your leg and you can't get back up. Could be anything.
And do you continue to do this job? This job that takes you out there where those things are. You still do this, but are so quick to write off a colleague that's been taken. Are you not afraid it will be you next? Don't you wish that people would search for you had you been taken?
If they give me the courtesy of looking for me, like they did for Uman, I will be content. Because I know that if I just miss one day of work, I'm not feeding my family that day. I knew Uman. Good guy. Kind of stupid. Could have been the octopus thing. But I can't not feed my family because Uman is gone.
Octopus thing? Am I
Yeah, you
there?
know, they grab him
I'm
by
not
the leg,
here.
hold him down. Sometimes you get octopused, and we just don't talk about it.
What do you mean octopus thing?
It's when, so you kind of swim down, and this is like if you're looking for like oysters or something like that. You swim down and you like reach into a hole, but it ends up being an octopus's den, and it grabs you. And octopuses are strong as shit, and sometimes you get the big octopuses, and then you just kind of die because you can't breathe.
Well, don't tell the fisherman's wife.
That's the octopus thing.
Is there a place you know these things exist?
Shit, pick a spot with coral, octopus, all over the fucking place.
But is there a place that you know that there are valuables that you can't reach because there is an octopus?
I wouldn't say there's things we can't reach because of octopi, but
Octopodes.
octopuses.
Octopuses is acceptable as well.
Good to know. listen, there's talk of treasure and nice things about, but we're not going out that deep. Listen, if I was certain there was treasure and I thought I could get it, hell, I'd go get it. But I'm not going to risk my life to possibly go get treasure. And in that case, Ooman. I hope Ooman found a lady and they ran away together. I
Is
truly
he a
do.
foolish man? Would he go for something like that?
Listen, I've only seen Ooman passing. I've heard he's not the brightest bulb, but he could have. I don't know. There's tales all over the place. There's a big cave on the rocks. People don't go to because of they say there's monsters and.
Are there monsters there, Dad?
Roll persuasion.
Can I help
17.
him? Going like, oh no, I don't need.
I got a
to.
+0 to persuasion. I still rolled a 17.
He looks at you. Shit, then okay. Fuck.
No, we killed the monsters at the big cave in the rock. The grotto, the big cave in the rock. We killed my friends and I killed those. Go take what you need to provide for your community.
All right, I guess I'll take a couple boys to check it out later.
Don't stop looking for your missing friend.
We're
There's a
on the
man
water.
that
We'll see.
Is there any place you'd like to check? I might be able to help you in the next few hours. Is there any place you'd like to check in the next few hours that you can't reach currently?
I mean, it's nice that you're taking such a keen interest in Ooman. That's very kind of you. I would say, I mean, listen, the man's gone either way. And would it be nice to possibly bring a body home to the missus? I can't tell you if that's better or worse.
All right, very well. My services must end here if you don't want to do it now. I'm just blessed with a boon from someone more capable than me for the next few hours, and I would like to see a fellow trying to feed his community return to his community if possible.
Listen, I'm not going to stop you. You can go look around in the coral area. He points a bit farther out. You're welcome to go there, but men are currently fishing, so could be a hazard to you. But you're welcome to do what you like. I have to get back to work.
Very well, get back to work. And I'm gonna make my way back to the party. Kind of a little bit sullen. Really wanted to try and bring somebody some good news, but not gonna happen, so.
Okay. You make your way back, the rest of the party kind of composing themselves and waking up, and Saga, I'm assuming, kind of, if not working actively on pieces of the dress, like kind of storyboarding, like, okay, and then this. And ooh, if that goes there and I have the fish one, as you work on that. Eventually, Fenn comes back and all of you are once again reunited. Is there something you guys would like to do?
Oh, what were you guys doing with those townspeople last night?
It seems like one of their own has gone missing. Apparently the third this month.
Oh, goodness. We have quite a few things to do. Are we? Well, but that's not quite good. Are we going to help with them, or do we need to do the things with Dagwood?
None of them seem quite enthusiastic about getting him back. They say he's a good person. They say he's a good man. They say he tries to provide for his family, but none of them quite care that he's gone. They accept it as an eventuality, unavoidable almost.
He's got a family.
They say he has a missus.
Well, that's absolutely terrible. She's probably just wondering, just sitting there. We should try to find him.
I agree. But we have Ave's wishes to deal with. Saga, if you want to do this, I'm with you. But we have Ave's wishes to deal with.
If nothing else, if we can finish our business with Dagwood earlier in the day, we can certainly spend some of the later afternoon assisting as well as we can. We did spend some time last night helping with the search party, but we didn't turn up anything. And they haven't turned up anything new around the docks at all today?
Nothing. They seem to have written it off, as if that's the end of it. They did not find him last night, and they don't expect to find anything but a corpse going forward. They said to check if we were interested to check out by the reefs, but they would not interrupt their own fishing operations to allow us safe passage there, and then it might be a hazard to us. That's all. It seems as if they've made up their mind that Uman is gone, and there's no recovery for him that we can make.
I'm not sure what assistance we could lend. I want to lend some.
We can still breathe water for some degree of time, and we can cast it again with another scroll that we have that does the same. If we wanted to, we could spend an entire day, a day and a half, trying to recover him or his body, if that was what we wanted to do. But we serve your brother's purpose at the moment, and I don't mean to detract from that. But this is a person who spent his life and his profession trying to provide for his home and his community. He tried to bring food home, and he's disappeared, and his community has written him off.
It's hunt or be hunted, and he was hunted.
He was hunted, and we can hunt greater than that, can we not, Gorbjorn? Don't you want to kill you want to kill cave monsters? Why not sea monsters?
I hate ghosts and I hate the sea!
He slams his fist, just bacon kind of goes up and then goes down.
Grab my drink before it falls over.
We both know as hunters ourselves, Fenn. It's a dangerous profession.
It is a dangerous profession, but would you not wish someone to bring your body home if you were to fall?
Burn it, certainly.
Let us keep it in mind. Let us go about Ave's business. But let us not forget his name at very least.
The sadness of not knowing is pretty much one of the worst. At least, in my opinion.
Let's see if we can find out the name of his missus, his spouse, and we'll talk to her, see if she has any additional information she could possibly give. Many people think that he might be an adulterer that absconded, but I don't think there's any indication of that. If she has any suspicion, then we'll write it off immediately. But we should speak to her.
I have to agree.
Sorry, everybody. We just in case you all didn't know, we have a secret chat where we all talk to each other.
It's not okay. What's happening there is not okay.
Not okay. It is well that you are not exposed to its
it's a
wickedness.
bad chat, and we all shouldn't be part of it, and they subject me to it. And they make up terrible names, and then I have to make them canon as punishment.
God damn it.
So I'm trying
okay.
to I'm going to ask a
Sorry.
question and you tell me if that's what you're doing. And you guys are welcome to discuss it more, but are you heading to Dagwood first or are you doing something else?
I think we're heading to
Nana's
Dagwood.
inclination
We
is
should get
heading
the
to
skeleton
Dagwood.
first before we go to Dagwood.
All right. Yep.
Valid. She
Yep.
might be able to, I don't know, cast Speak with Dead or something.
It's got a skeleton on it, or it's got a snake on the bones, and she said get her anything that has a
That's
snake on
true.
it.
That's true as well.
Okay. Easy enough to make a detour to just the chill skeleton sitting on the beach. Just kind of like he looks very cool for a skeleton.
He's in a hut,
He's
right?
just like, yeah, he's
He's
sitting
got, like, a
inside the
sun
sand
hat
hut.
and sun
I
I
hat.
put him
So
in
he's
inside
got,
the
like-
hut. He's just sitting there. Boney's just sitting there.
Yeah,
hanging out.
He's got like a grass hat.
just some grass blew into him and it made a hat shape and he's looking real cool. You
Real
guys
chill.
take him, I'm assuming, try to put him under somebody's cloak a
cloak.
little
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, do we have extra bags on the sled that we could take? Because we've been like eating rations and using.
You could
equipment.
probably get one of the burlap sack sort of situations and crush him down to fade, but you
Or
have
like
to-
kind of like nudge his legs into it and make it into a kind of papoose to like strap onto Gorbjorn's back.
a standing skeleton behind Gorbjorn and its feet are in a sack and its head is under a cloak.
I just imagine like feet hanging out behind my head. Just
However you guys disguise this skeleton,
Oh my god.
who is carrying said skeleton?
I carry everything, so why not?
I
Understood.
mean, you are the tallest and the strongest.
Roll deception.
Oh boy,
I believe in you, buddy.
natural 20!
Wow! One of this guy like seems to hone in instantly like on this like weird shaped dude and then is like you see his face change from suspicious to like bless his heart and like he moves along. His back's all messed up. That's something's wrong there.
Go with that.
So
Is that a Georgia bless your heart?
oh yeah, certainly.
Oh yeah. It's a backhanded.
He's like, they're like, oh God, okay, ooh.
Glad I'm not you, kind of thing.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
You guys make your way back to Dagwood's place. Once again, when you go up the steps, you get hit with the scent of incense. Nana pulls the rope, and you hear the jingling. It's kind of like sleigh bells. Like it's just very just ching. And you can hear the increasing volume of somebody grumbling as they make their way to the door. And you watch Morden open the door. You watch him look to the side as he's done every time anybody has come to the door. And he starts to talk, and then he looks. Oh.
Hello. Yeah. Sorry. It's us again. Dagwood did ask us to come back.
Upstairs. And
All right.
he pulls the door open to let you all walk in past him.
I hand him a ration as we go through. One of the rashers of bacon that I took from the. Yeah, I just give him some bacon as we walk through. Just nonchalant. Just
Pocket bacon.
later bacon. It's later bacon.
We had buns the first time.
When he was handed pocket bacon, and he's like, he gives you like a smile, and you can start to see like the tops of his lips curl over his bandana, and you can start to see a bit of his teeth, and he's like, roll insight then.
This is how you buy Morden's love.
Insight, please, Fenn.
Oh, Fenn. All right, insight. All right.
Rightful is fed.
It's a natural one.
Ooh.
Morden certainly likes this gift, and this gesture is good, and he does not think ill of it, and he is happy to have it.
Okay.
I give him the chest as well. Sorry.
You hand him the small box. Okay, he hands it to you, and he opens it. All of you see him open the box that you guys found on that corpse, and there's a dried eel inside.
Oh.
And he's
I
looking
wonder
at
if
it.
It's...
Gorbjorn, roll
Interesting.
insight.
Natural 19, but I think I have a minus Oh no, it's a straight 0. Sorry.
He is happy with this gift, and he fell for it. He doesn't think anything's wrong with what was just given to him.
Oh my god!
He thinks it's all good.
You swindler.
Just Morden's just sitting there with this weird forced smile on his face, like, just
The
holding a box
barbarian.
with an eel and a piece of pocket bacon. He's like,
Later bacon. It's later
Later
bacon.
bacon, right.
and he
right.
kind of motions
Later
you guys
bacon.
in so he can close the door as he kind of like moves out.
There you go.
Quickly closes the door, and he follows behind you guys, and he is constantly looking. It looks like he's waiting for you guys to bump into shit so he can catch it. Trusting nobody here.
I'm gonna give him some more bacon. Just as we make our way through the house, I'm just feeding him more bacon.
He has a handful of bacon. You can't see the offended look on his face. You think you're like, hell yeah. I am making friends here. I've got it.
no!
Morta just holding these pieces of cold bacon. Like,
No, they're good. It doesn't matter that they're cold. It's still good. It's delicious. It's
Salty, meaty bacon.
you guys make your way to the steps where you see that there's still just that piece of wood lying across them where it was broken.
is he a
by
fucking
somebody.
vegan?
Is that
Maybe
goblin
he
a
doesn't
vegan?
eat pork.
A Jewish goblin.
Is he kosher?
Jewish vegan goblin.
Is
I
he
love-
kosher, vegan, what?
Does he
I
keep
love-
halal?
I love vegan goblin. Anywho, he's like, no, I gave that up years ago. You all make
He would have
your
told
way-
us by now anyway.
He would have been like, hey, listen, thanks, but you all make your way up. He kind of motions to you to kind of step around and not in the center of the board.
Morton, if this is haram, just give it back to me. If you don't want it, just...
You think he's 100% happy.
Okay, all right. No, never mind.
Yeah, you
Doesn't say a
think
thing.
you have done it. You're like, nailed it. Me and Morden are friends. This goblin trusts me. You all make your way up. He stands at the steps and waits for Gorbjorn to pass by before going up, just watching to see what you do.
That's valid.
Everything what everybody else is doing.
You perfectly mimic exactly what someone else is doing. You're like, I got it. I know what's up. You can trust me.
I feel like no, he wouldn't be smart enough to like mimic what Morden would or he would do around the stairs. But he's also way too big to like put his feet on the handrails or like the side rails.
So you awkwardly try not to look like you're deliberately messing shit up. You're trying to play it cool. You got to finish the con. You all make your way upstairs, and the room looks a bit messier now. There's just a splay of books and papers, and you can see different types of crystals and rocks just like thrown about the place. Burning plants like in bowls. Just like it's like when you're looking for an outfit in your closet and that one doesn't work and that one doesn't work. It just looks like things were pulled out and just never put back. You can see Dagwood sitting at her desk with a small knife, like cutting pieces of apple off and eating them off the knife as she watches you all come in. You guys don't see Broggy in there.
Hello. We made
Where's-
our way back from that cave. Awful place.
Where's Broggy?
Oh, Broggy asked for a couple coins, wanted to go shopping.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if he'll be back. I wasn't entirely sure, but I'm sure he'll be back at wherever you all are staying.
All right.
You want to shop for?
He mentioned clothes.
I made him a very nice outfit. I don't know why he would need to buy clothes.
I thought the outfit was astounding. Very, very ancient chic, yes.
Thank you.
What do you have for me?
We found a couple things. There's this text, and I don't know who ended up taking it. I think it was me because I was
I think
reading it.
so.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
believe it was you.
I say that, and I add there was some kind of an office, a workshop,
Hmm.
big carvings of snakes. Oh, and we found on our way out, we found a skeleton with a snake. I don't want to say tattooed on the bone, but I don't know what else it could be.
Certain.
So, this is the second corpse you have brought me?
Well,
We could
not
take
a
it
corpse, a skeleton this time.
Debatable
Desiccated.
on the word corpse.
You wanted anything with snakes on it. This has a snake on it.
Well, thank you very much then. Things with snakes on it and the journal, could you put them on the desk for me just to look at?
Sure.
And there was also the snake, with the ruby eyes.
Yes, there was an armband.
Yes.
This is a separate thing from what Gorbjorn had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who had it, but I
I'm
will.
assuming that person puts it down.
Yeah.
And is not a
Whosoever that may be.
you guys place down the journal and you place down the body of Boney and this armband. And you watch as Morden comes up, still with that forced smile on his face, and he sets the box down next to Dagwood, and she glances at it. Morden, would you please light the fire for me? Just get it a bit toastier in here. Cold morning. You watch Morden kind of nod, kind of like relaxes his face, and he goes over to the fire, and you watch as he reaches for like a flint, and you hear her, "No, do it right." And Morden stops, and he puts the flint back down, and he pulls a piece of like cotton out of his pocket, and then like a piece of wire, and he starts just like rubbing them together, and you watch as like magic sparks start to make their way up and then into the fire.
Oh, neat.
And he goes and he picks up a book and then kind of sits by the fire and kind of pretends to read and just keeps an eye on all of you. Dagwood reaches over to the box. I was very excited about this.
That's really impressive.
And she opens it and looks at this eel. I'm going to put it this way. And she sets it down. If, for some magical reason, the item that was in that box finds its way back in, I will have no questions to ask.
I have several questions to ask. Where is Proggy?
He's at the shop.
Yes, he said he was going to buy some clothes.
Which shop? Where would he go?
I've never shopped in this town, but I do know there are clothing stores.
You don't shop in this town, but how do you provide for yourself? How do you find food, sustenance in this town? You don't leave. Neither does Morden, obviously. Even though he's adorable, the townsfolk don't seem to like him. What? How do you find food for yourself?
Well, you make arrangements with a person who doesn't have a lot of money, and you give them a job. And that job is buying things for me and then bringing them to my place.
Oh. Very well.
DoorDash.
DoorDash is one of my favorite workers. He honestly, he's pretty good. I tip well. DoorDash, honestly, great kid.
And
Yeah, I met him when I was at the tavern.
Much better than that uber snot.
what do you know of Ave's life before our mission?
She raises an eyebrow. I'm a bit caught off guard. Because I hate to say that you're swindling me and then, asking me a bunch of questions.
I've never swindled a person in my life.
It is true. He's
Roll insight.
She picks up the box with the eel. I know what should have been in this box. That was, as you can tell by the wood, submerged in water. There would not be a dried eel in this box. And she pushes the eel out. And as you can see, there is a divot in this fabric, though eaten away, of a shape of a spyglass.
What on earth? Gorbjorn!
What's a spyglass?
Gorbjorn!
What's that? I don't know.
Gorbjorn!
Fenn!
Yawn.
We are
No.
trying to have civil relations here. What on earth did you do?
Did nothing.
Gorbjorn says he did nothing.
She kind of takes a moment and she starts cutting off another piece of apple and like kind of focuses in on that for a moment. Like I said, if perhaps it fell into one of your bags, I don't know. If it finds its way back into this box, I have no qualms and I will continue my work.
I don't know what to tell you, my lady. There was, I don't know. It seems whatever's was in this box has gone. Gorbjorn says he did not take it, so I can do nothing but default to his opinion.
Gorbjorn, would you come over here with me and we can turn out some of the packs? Let's see if perhaps it got misplaced, yes?
I left it at inn. Let me go get it.
Oh, the spyglass!
The spyglass! Of course!
Oh, silly me!
You meant the spyglass! Why didn't you just say so?
Gorbjorn, are you gonna slip out to go run back to the inn, or are you staying for now?
I'm gonna slip out.
Okay. It's at the inn, and Gorbjorn makes his way out.
I don't know what I'm going to do with him.
Dagwood kind of closes it with a clap and then sets it down.
Very sorry about that, Dagwood. No offense meant. He's got, I think, permanently sticky fingers. We'll talk with him.
Of course. So, let's circle back real quick to when you came into my home, maybe not knowing your friend had stolen something I wanted. Not much a hello, but the dropping of items on my table and then the beginning of a stream of questions.
Well,
We have questions. No, go ahead.
All I know is that you seem to have known Ave far better than I ever did. And this mission is his, and I want to finish it for him. But there are still so many things that I do not understand, and I very much fear that I cannot complete this mission if I cannot get at least some answers, and I feel very strongly that you are the person who can answer them, if you would be willing.
I'm sure I can answer some questions.
If it would make things any better, I would consent to answer any question you might have of me as well. I would lay down perhaps a zone of truth. I would be open to any honest answer to any question you might have if you would be willing to do the same.
Have I given you a reason to indicate that I am untrustworthy?
I don't believe so. But in my time through the valley and in my time long before this, things are so very seldom what they seem. And perhaps it is only paranoia on my part. But it would put my mind at ease if I could know that what you say is fact, is true.
Lady, you did not so much as ask as to how Ove perished. We brought him to you as a corpse. And you have his body. You can see what caused him to perish. You see the stab wounds. But you didn't ask who did it. That in itself raises suspicion. So submit to Lady Nana's request. For ease of our own minds. Why did Ave die? You didn't seem concerned at all with that.
Nana Hemming. I will consent to this zone of truth. I am not submitting to anything. And my reactions to grieving are my own. My reaction to something that I was informed could happen are my own. If I do not react the way you want, I do not have an apology for that. I want everyone in this zone of truth.
Anyone who is willing to remain and to be subject to the zone of truth is willing to stay.
I will not comply unless everyone does it.
Ben steps forward as close as he's willing to step to any person.
Yeah, totally. I don't see why everyone seems so tense. I really don't understand what's going on, but okay.
The range of zone of truth is 60 feet, so honestly, it would blanket the
Gordon's
room.
like, ah!
No, I'm so sorry. The range is 60 feet.
It's like
the
10
affected
feet.
area is 15. Sorry.
15. Yeah,
15.
I'm assuming everybody steps within range. If you are going to attempt to fight the zone of truth, I would like a message from you. If not, we'll move along. I'll give that a moment as Dagwood kind of takes the last slice off of the apple and places it to the side. What I'm going to do is I am going to have, it's a charisma saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to have everybody roll a dice. And if it means something, like if you're consenting, don't worry about the outcome. If you are not, tell me what the outcome is in a message. So everybody roll charisma saving throw, please.
so glad I left.
Gorbjorn's like, I feel like I'm missing something, and I'm happy to not be part of it. What is your save, Nana?
That is charisma 12.
Okay. Here is my question. When it comes to Zone of Truth, and I'm just laying out all the questions, this doesn't mean somebody said nay. I'm just going to do this anytime Zone of Truth is involved. Are you able to tell if somebody doesn't submit?
I know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw, yes.
Cool.
That's not the same as knowing whether something submits.
Yeah.
All of you are saying we will fail this roll. If somebody
Basically, yeah.
succeeds, Nana would know something was different.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Is what I am saying.
All right.
The rest of you are just being like, sure. So
Yeah.
all of you say sure. Dagwood kind of finishes the apple and looks to you.
All right.
Ask away, I suppose. I don't like being berated by men, though.
Understandable. Fenn meant no offense.
I'm
He's
sure.
brusque, but he is direct because he wishes to get to the point.
You are on a time limit.
Understandable. My question for you, Dagwood, is how did you know Ave? Did you travel with him?
Yes. Ave and I traveled together when he was younger. We were part of a small, as you could say, almost as you all are, an adventuring party. It was Ave and myself, Ereme, Marcher, and Drask. We traveled together for some time, going over some of the coast, a lot of the west. We started to make our way eastward, and that is when he received word his father had passed. The party broke up after that, and he went home.
Has he always been different? It's said in our village he was touched by Gulveig, although I've never been quite clear on exactly what that meant. But
Are
there's
you
something
asking if
different
he
about
has
it.
always been touched by Golveg?
I suppose, or different in some other way.
I will say yes to both. I met Ave. He was already graced with his marks. Said he was chosen by Golveg. Said to him that it was a bit of and there's just a little turn of the lip. Ave is a different man. He's just different. Whether it is because he is touched by Golveg or just because of the air he possesses.
There was a point during our travels when something was illuminated for one of us. Something inside Ave. Something moving inside of him. Is that... It didn't seem to be the corruption, or we'd have surely seen it do its work long since.
I will give a note as DM. Never did I say the things inside of Ave were moving.
Oh!
Just to put that
I apologize. Okay.
just so you know.
I appreciate that note. Then redact that.
Take that part out.
Yeah.
Ave believed that because of his blessing, that if something were to happen to him, if he were to perish, he always took precautions. If we were going to go into something dangerous, he took precautions. I do not know of exactly what you speak, but if you do not think it is corruption and it is strange it is there, it is possible Ave had a backup plan if something were to happen to him.
The man with the gold chin.
I don't know what that means.
Do you know a man taller than most who might have meant harm to Ave, followed by a witch shorter than most, with half of her face covered?
And her hands like crispy.
Her hands were crispy.
This sounds like a strange riddle. I do not know.
It's not a riddle. I'm asking you, do you know the people that
Do
you
not
might have known?
snap at me in my own home. Thank you. Nana.
I have been told
Please do
I
not
am
speak to
impolite. I
me.
do not.
Nana. I do not know of this person. They do not ring a bell.
Ave was killed by someone who seemed to have known him. What enemies did your party make as you were adventuring?
I'm not. I am sure there are some I could say by name. None of them fit the description given. I would not feel comfortable pointing you in their direction.
We're not asking for your comfort. We're asking for your truth.
Leave my home. Leave. Step out. I will not be disrespected in my own home when I am doing you a great favor. I am answering your questions truthfully, and I am saving Ave. Please leave. Everyone else may stay. I will answer your questions. I do not wish to see him.
Ben about fronts and walks back down to the wharf to go look for the missing man.
Oh, see, Broggy.
Oh, well, the moment you stepped out, you would have seen me hiding.
Just in a bush.
Too big for the bush.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
go,
his bag is on the top.
Gorbjorn, go own your truth.
No. Go back to them.
No, I won't be had back there. Go own your truth. Be you in front of her. Tell her the truth. And then I just walk away.
He's going to get you into incredible trouble one day. Imagine if I weren't so kind. And he comes into my home after I am very kind. I am doing you a great favor. The deal we are doing is not even.
I understand. I will speak with him. He's a dear friend. To me, he's family.
He is ruining your chances at my help. But you are the sister of Ave Hemming, and I care deeply for Ave. Any more questions? I'm happy to speak to you and your friends.
I did also want to know were you and Ave, well, never mind that.
Are you trying to ask if they were in love?
It was a brief consideration, but decidedly an unfair question to ask under the circumstances. Nana instead will pivot to,
As you go to open your mouth to continue. Yes. Yes, we were. Just Saga giggling in the back.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's like that vibe is just emanating. It is sweet. I thank you for seeing us, for seeing to him, all things considered.
Of course. Ave informed me that this was a possibility. That's why I jumped to the conclusion of his death when I saw you. He wants me to perform this last rites. It's not exactly what I would call it, but it is something done, I suppose, for death, a form of protection. So I cannot say if it is not technically last rites. I will also give you the runes that you must apply to his body before being burned. There are other things on the list in the will, which are more on you about the strange object and the object of worth. I think that comes down to personal opinion. You had said that he was having a child. Was he happy?
He seemed to be, yes. I believed he was.
I like that he was happy. I am happy he was able to have a child. That was our breaking point, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry.
Cannot bear children, so I do not blame him. It did not seem that he personally wanted to have a child, but it seemed expected of him. And I could not provide that, so I did not follow him home. Instead, I came here. And I came here because there is something greater to see, though Ave is an incredibly bright light in the world, now snuffed, I suppose. There is something here, and she pats the journal. I do not think Jormungandr is dead. I think he is just split into pieces, many hearts in one snake. The world should have been consumed a long time ago. I think we are past due. Will I seek him out and try to end things? No. But I believe he is there, and if I could just see him before the end, it would be worth it.
I can understand that. Do you think that there's some remnant of Jormungandr near here?
Oh, yes. That's why I came here. There were rumors that he was seen here, that someone saw something in the distance, and I look every night. I look out to the ocean, and I see nothing. But, and she points to the spyglass, if it were there, the box. This could help me, just to see. That's all. I want to see him, the end of days, before it gets here.
I think it's a worthy goal.
This is not an apology. This is more of an explanation. I spent an extended period of my life being hounded and snipped at by gruff men. I just will not have it in my home.
It is your home, and it is your place to set your own rules, and I am sorry for my friend having offended you so.
Well, Nana Hemming and companions, you have not offended me, and I am happy to be saying things I haven't said in a very long time in front of people. It is... I don't want to say if it's good or not, because I don't know. I am not sure if it is good or bad, how it makes me feel to talk about Ave and to know that he was happy with his wife. And I did not want to know how he died. I did not want to know. I saw the injuries. I could assume enough. They are smooth. They were done by a weapon. You speak of a man with a gold chin. I can only make assumptions. Is there anything else? It's going to take me a couple more days to figure this out. The ring is complicated, and Ave is also complicated.
Dagwood, it just, not that I don't trust you already, but do we have anything to fear from you, from Jormungandr?
I think that is up to perspective, but I will explain. I believe that the world is past due, and you can tell by the rot and decay that she has been dead for so long. And that as we put our dead out of their misery and do not let them rot and decay, that is what should have happened to the world. If Jormungandr were to return and to swallow us, I think that is the way it should have been. Do I wish anyone harm? No. Am I going to seek out to hurt anyone or bring about ends? No. I want to see it coming.
I think anyone who's traveled the world at least a pace outside their own door wants to see the end coming.
I really wanted to make it more east. I know Ave did. I knew he was very interested in things like Skull City, that he wanted to see these different ways of living. I'm not sure how he was as a grown man, but he wasn't... For a man who spoke of tradition so often, it just did not seem his interest.
That is very true. Stayed that way on his whole life. I don't know if it may make you feel any differently about circumstances, but for whatever it may be worth, Ave did not marry the woman who bore his child until just before we left on our expedition.
Oh, practical. Well, we had grown distant. We communicated from letters, but after he returned home... Gosh, that was so long ago. I have not seen him since. I received letters about you and Roshan, even your friend Gorbjorn, who is not present currently. He spoke very highly of all of you. And I think each of you have a gift. And I think hiding will be your downfall. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be ashamed of when you're different or something has been brought in and you are one with it even though everyone else does not think it right. She sticks her leg out and she pulls up her robe a bit up to the thigh, and you can see the same as the bone, the black snake tattoo wrapping around her thigh, and you can see that it also like starts to head up like to her back, but you cannot see the full extent of it. It looks like a huge mark.
Ooh.
The man you found there was a follower of Jormungandr. He was the person that the rumors were about, the one who said that he was here. I was not born with this, but I took it on later in life, and many have vilified me for it, and that is fine. But I am content. I will be content. It is going to take me a couple of days to finish up everything. Right.
Dagwood. From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
I am happy to help. I'm happy to see him again.
I'm only sorry it was under such dour circumstances.
It
I would
always
have
is.
been able to visit, at least.
Oh, no. Not the type of girl you bring home to mother. You all are welcome back later unless there's anything else, but I should get back to work.
That is all for now. We'll make sure Gorbjorn brings the spyglass back for you.
That would be appreciated. I hope the other things you found in there that I did not request work as payment along with assisting you with Ave.
It is ample. Thank you.
Right.
Did you get all your questions answered by Broggy?
Oh. You know, for how meek he seems, he's very good at talking around situations, right? Like, I'll ask him about, did he see the fall of Valhalla, and he'll say Valhalla fell and not give me the details, but that's fine. Maybe mortal ears can't handle it, I don't know. But I did get some things answered, even if he's not a fan of Jormungandr.
Oh, well, I'm glad that he got to have a nice conversation with somebody.
Yes, he seemed uncomfortable.
Yeah, he has for the past couple days. I was hoping that maybe he'd make a bit of a friend. But, you know, we were working on it.
That's good.
Yeah.
It must be difficult to reaccustom yourself to a world you've been separate from for so long. Thousands of years, and who knows what that does to the mind. Astounding he can talk, I think.
He's pretty amazing. I kind of feel a bit of a kinship because I was away from the world for a little while, but I also, the way that you talk about Jormungandr and, like, other people not liking that you worship him, it kind of reminds me a bit of Lady Satyr. Just because whenever I talk about it, everyone seems to be like, oh man, you keep talking, and it's been like 25 minutes, can you stop? And I don't understand why everyone's got to be so negative about it, but I'm gonna keep going and, you know, keep supporting her, and I think you should do the same. I don't really know what his goal is, but I also don't know what Lady Satyr's goal is, so it's kind of the same.
That's the mystery of it, isn't it? There is a goal, and you know it's there, and it's in reach, and you just keep pushing for it. Never minimize yourself. Scream her name from the heavens. Do what you need to do. Because if she is right for you, she is indeed right.
Yes. Should make pamphlets.
Astounding. I think that's an idea.
You're right. Okay. Would you like to know more about her? I'll listen to you. I'll listen to you about yours as well.
You don't have to justify it. She kind of reaches a foot under the table and pulls out a stool. I'd love to hear.
Okay.
You go over excited and you sit down, and that is where we are going to stop tonight's session. Thank you all so much for watching with us tonight for episode 21 of On the Backs of Gods, where we rolled like 4 21s and we're living the dream.
Living the dream!
Thank you guys again. If you want to keep up with us or see some art of the whole team, we are at Backs of Gods on Twitter and Instagram. We'd love to have you guys there, get to see all the cool art. One of my favorite parts about it. Deep into the void. What's happening on Tuesday, Frank?
Tomorrow we're all going to take mushrooms, and we are going to be all like that.
Oh
So
boy!
if you are needing something to do tomorrow night, come on by and bring your own mushrooms. It's BYOM, and we're gonna have a party. Okay, we're gonna have a party.
We got portobello.
Yeah, we got orange ones, pink ones, purple ones, fuzzy green ones. We got them all.
I have a mushroom you can think of. They have it on Tuesday night.
Tomorrow night, it's Mushroom Tuesday tomorrow night. Seriously, so come on by.
Tuesday.
Check it out.
Abby, what's happening on Wednesday?
Well, on Wednesday at 7:30 is Roll Link. I play on that game as well. I don't really know what's going on. We're trying to figure it out ourselves.
You
A
know,
lot's
do we ever
happened
really know what's
lately.
going on in these? Except Tuesday is Mushroom Night.
Yeah, exactly.
We know that for certain. There's a certainty, and it's Mushroom Night on Tuesday.
Yes.
Just trust me, it's good. It's mostly chaotic and sad, and sometimes interesting.
Hey.
So yeah. Good.
Monday night, I'll claim that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're interested, usually every Saturday we have our spooky, scary night where we do either Call of Cthulhu or Vampire the Masquerade. This week was going to be Vampire, but you know, sometimes you can't do Vampire all the time. So there is going to probably be a one-shot that day, and if you guys are interested in just something different, not D&D, not Vampire, not Call of Cthulhu, just something else, we'll be doing that, and if we're not, we'll be doing something. So come over on Saturday, see what's up. Thank you guys again. We really appreciate you guys being here and your support. And we will be here same time on Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we will see you guys then. Good night, everybody.
Come roll the dice with us, y'all.
Ooh.